Okay, I have an idea. What do you say we turn your fans and followers into customers, buyers, people who want to pick up what you're putting down? Today in this video, I want to give you some insight and some tips that you can put into action to help you shift your focus so that way you can build momentum and turn more profit in your business. Hola friend, what's going on? Jen Johnson here. It's always a pleasure to hang out with you here on my YouTube channel. I love sharing tips, tools, insights, resources on how to create more purpose in your work, impact in the world, and the focus is all around content creation and product creation. And as a Christian entrepreneur, I love to teach you how to lead like Jesus. He kind of did it best, you know. So I was really inspired to want to do this video because looking back on my history of the struggle I really had in the beginning years ago when I started building my business, I realized I was focused, but I was focused on all the wrong things, on all the things people told me to focus on, or a lot of people were creating content around making it sound like it was a big deal to focus on these things. They seemed like the right things, but they ended up being things that made me feel bad, that wasn't really turning profit in my business, and I just kept adding a lot of unnecessary pressure to myself in the wrong department. And once I started to turn and shift into what really mattered most, I started to see the right numbers go up. And I ain't talking about the likes and the hearts. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to give you some simple tweaks that you can start to make now, especially in your thought process, to really let go of the things that might be making you feel bad, defeated, or like you're not succeeding. And you can start focusing on what truly matters to produce profit, success. And this might be something you're doing to yourself and you don't even realize it, or you might be hearing a lot of people out there stressing over certain things that truly just don't have as big of an impact as you think. So let me give you 4 simple tweaks. So the first shift I want to help you make is be customer focused versus follower focused. Look, I get it. We all want to be liked and loved and have all the comments and all the engagements and 100,000 people subscribe to this and 200,000 subscribe to that. But what would it ultimately look like if you had 50 or 100 people who were ready to work with you, who were ready to say yes? If you were to really hone in and find those few people that you could actually give benefit to and that you could actually serve well with your product, what would that look like for your business? And even just taking a product, for example, if you had a $97 product that you could sell to 50 people, to 25 people, to 10 people, you are now creating profit. And so I think it's easy to put a lot of pressure on ourselves to grow these really large accounts and have this crazy huge customer base. But really learning how to handle customers is so important. And you do that one by one. As you do that, you will gradually start to grow by your customers referring more customers and shouting your name and sharing testimony. You will start to gain more and more traction. So start focusing on the amount of customers you're serving versus the amount of people that are following you. So to lead into that, the second shift would be to start focusing on building credibility instead of trying to be a celebrity. Because again, yes, you want that celebrity status and everybody knows you and you're amazing. Of course you're amazing, but you don't need to have celebrity status to be amazing. You don't need to have celebrity status to have a very healthy bank account. Ultimately, you just want to meet people where they're at and show them that you're worth working with, that you know what you're talking about, you know your stuff, and you are not afraid to deliver that to them through creating content and through delivering tips and resources and insights and inviting them to subscribe to your mailing list. There's all these different ways that you get to stay connected with your tribe. Like having an intimate tribe, you can have so much success. Even if you just had a 500 person, 1,000 person mailing list, you could really start to create good profit from that. And I want to encourage you, again, to really think deep instead of wide. The third shift that I personally had to make, and this was one of the harder ones for me, is to get social. You know, when attraction marketing came along, I was all about attraction marketing. And actually, in some of my more later videos, you'll see me talk about, like, I don't want to be up in everybody's inbox and I don't want to have all these conversations. It doesn't mean you don't have conversations, and it doesn't mean you don't get social. You want to interact and engage. And everywhere you leave a comment, everywhere that you can heart up someone, everywhere where you can really sew into people, you're leaving your virtual business card because your face is right there next to your comment or next to your engagement. And so I just want to encourage you to set a goal every day. How many conversations could you really get into? And maybe it's 3, maybe it's 5, maybe it's 10. Whatever that looks like, really commit to having true conversations with people. This is where you're going to get to the heart of what kind of content you should be creating, who you could be collaborating with, and how you can really start to create content and products that will serve your audience well. If we're not talking to people about that, we're just assuming, and we all know where that gets us. And the fourth shift I want to give you today is to start creating content your audience wants versus content your audience needs. Look, I have 2 kids and they need to eat their vegetables. They don't always want to eat their vegetables. So what's the solution? Cauliflower mashed potatoes. If we can give our audience more of what they want while serving them on the back end what they really need, it's going to really be in your favor because you're going to attract them with what it is they're looking for. And when they're ready to say yes to working with you, you can really dive deeper into those extra things that they need. This is why I really encourage doing research on the type of content that your audience wants. This is why I encourage you to get into conversation and survey your audience and figure out what it is they're really struggling with so you can provide that content. And this is a reason why I love to create beta programs, because it allows you to create a program from scratch, really listening to your customers or your clients about what they need, and you can customize it to exactly what they're looking for. And if they're looking for it, you know other people are looking for it too. And of course, I want to further support you and point you to another video I recently did on 7 content mistakes to avoid. The sooner we can figure out what we're doing that's not working, the sooner we can focus on what is working and really start to master that. And I would love for you to just learn from my mistakes instead of having to make them on your own. So I will put that video in the corner and in the description below. And I would also love to invite you inside my private community, Turn Purpose to Profit. This is where hundreds and hundreds of entrepreneurs just like you come together to really learn how to stand in faith, learn to lead like Jesus, and take the God-given abilities that we have and turn them into amazing businesses and doing what we love and what we've been called to create. So I will also leave that in the description below. We would love to have you inside the community. And of course, I would love to hear from you in the comments below. What is the one shift that I mentioned that you could start to implement right away so you can start to see the proper results show up and you don't have to feel all this added pressure towards unnecessary analytics? Okay, as promised, I'm keeping this short and sweet. Mwah! Thank you so much for being here. I absolutely love showing up and being with you on the tube. I will see you next week.